What up, YouTube? You already know the Latin assassin himself, Big Lou, tapping back in with what it do with Big Lou NFZR2, baby, baby. You'd be highly appreciated if it's your first time coming to the channel. You sub, like, and share the channel here at What It Do with Big Lou by hitting that subscribe button, following up with the bell notification bell, and then selecting all. So as you can tell from that thumbnail, this is a video on the upcoming July 20th, 2024 bout between Mike Tyson and YouTuber turned pro boxer Jake Paul. Uh, and I'm assuming this got to be a professional bout, right? It's not an exhibition like Tyson Roy Jones Jr. did in 2020, uh, because the fact that Jake Paul hasn't fought any exhibition bouts, it's been all pro bouts for himself. Uh, Man, some part of what I mean you, me, and I'm sure others think the same. It's like, yeah, Mike Tyson's 57, 58, whatever he is. I've heard him even described as being 60 years old, but I know he's not quite 60, but real close. Um, they've showed him different times in wheelchairs and walking with a cane in a wheelchair because they say something about back problems. But man, when you see this dude in motion, hitting the pads and hitting the heavy bag and everything else he's doing during his training camp, it's like man, it's like you can not only man, it's like man, he's still got the power. Like if you don't know that power is the last thing to go from a boxer, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, the old man. I mean, you can call him old man, whatever. He's still got heavy hands, which comes with the power comes off the heavy hands. But he's pretty damn quick still, right? And I say that to say this is that this emulates the way, or not emulates, but it reminds me of the old Mike Tyson of young, at 16, 17 years old, 18 years old, training under Cuss, you know what I'm saying? And also in his early bouts, prior to him winning the heavyweight title under Kevin Rooney. But you can tell that he's got that love for the fight game again, right? You know, if you go back to his last couple of fights, he was giving up in the ring, and he said it himself. He said, I don't enjoy it no more. Which when you got certain things going on in your life, that could be a big hindrance on your profession and what you really do like to do, right? You figure, losing a child and marital problems, marital issue, money, money problems. He probably had a lot of stuff going against him, and it just stirred him to somewhat, not somewhat, but stirred him to not no longer dig what he loved doing, which was boxing, right? But the way he trained for the Roy Jones fight, the way he fought against Roy Jones, and that was an exhibition, and he was not trying to kill Roy Jones. I mean, his body, he killed him. He wasn't trying to hit him upstairs and knock him out. But this fight, man, I mean, it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, what are we gonna get? Are we gonna get an explosive Mike Tyson of old, some glimpse of the old Mike Tyson, because that's the way it looks when he's training, um, or is it gonna be a continuance of another fighter that's way over the hill that gets beat up by a guy that's 30 years younger than him? Man, I'm kind of like in the middle. Tugging both ways. To be honest, I don't dig Jake Paul's for one, his mouth. Using that bitch word. I don't dig that shit. Not only that, he's a clown, right? I mean, like some of these fighters, like, and I don't really dig Floyd Mayweather. Uh, is he one of the greatest fighters of all time? Damn right, right? Uh, but the disrespect that this guy shows these legendary fighters, right? When his brother was gonna fight Mayweather, he runs up on the side and grabs his hat, takes off running. Like, I mean, who does that shit, man? Like, these are pro fighters, prize fighters, well renowned, well respected. You know what I'm saying? Fighters that he shouldn't, in my opinion, he ain't got no business treating them that way. You know what I'm saying? Um, and especially at the same time, him and his brother, all the money his brother got to fight Mayweather, and never had stepped into a ring. So it's kind of like I'm getting pulled both ways. Where here you are disrespecting world, elite fighters of all time, and then you're making a ton of money to get in the ring with guys that are way over the hill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all about capitalism. Everybody make your money. Right? There's no hating about it in me. It's just my point is that I'm saying is that so many top-notch fighters, prize fighters over the years that won multiple divisions, multiple titles, they didn't even make money like what these guys are making in one fight and two fights. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. I guess I guess you could say with popularity and the change of times. I guess that's why he was in place and able to do that. Now he does got some good. Now Jake Paul does got some good ideas when it comes to forming some type of union, or if that's what you want to call it, about protecting fighters' health. Um, as far as them making better money, some of them, because some of them make outrageous, but like MMA fighters, some boxers, beginning in their career, because let's face it, boxers, MMA fighters, pro wrestlers, they don't have a pension. You got to do well with your money and save your money and put it into portfolios and all that type of stuff, and stocks and bonds, and what I mean, and real estate. And there's no such thing as paying into your social security and so on. You know what I mean? Man, are you kidding me? It's gonna start raining now. Wow. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm kind of like, man, what's going to happen? Is Tyson going? Now I can see Mike Tyson going in there and knocking him out kind of quick, within the first couple of rounds. Now I will speak on this. Now I will speak on this: the fact that for whatever reason, Jake Paul felt the need to bring up Mike Tyson's deceased daughter. That he was going to place him in a grave next to his daughter. I don't know why he would. I mean, I just don't understand that, man. You don't need to say shit like that to pump up stuff, right? To pump up a fight, man. You know, um, it's just that was just some coward chicken shit thing to say, in my opinion. Now I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with me, and a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, hey, it is what it is. It's open game. It's a fight. Da da da. Whatever. Okay, that's cool." You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I don't agree with. So Mike Tyson didn't take it lightly at all. He's mentioned I don't know how many times that he's gonna kill him, and then every time they show him training, he's like, "It's day one. You still want this? Day two, still want it." I seem like up until day three or day four. So Mike Tyson comes back with calling his dad a pedophile, and I'm like, "Whoa!" Because at first I'm like, "Where the hell is this coming from?" Because anybody knows me, I don't like hearing people being called a bitch or some weirdo. In my book, a weirdo is a sex offender. Like on broadcast, a press conference. None of that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? But then shortly after that, I seen that Jake Paul's dad was actually involved with some crap where he was kissing on a young girl, and some charges. I don't know if the charges got filed, but definitely an investigation got opened. Uh, the scale of the investigation, I don't know. I don't know, but just for the fact that you know, oh man, I don't know, man. It's just not a good look. I don't want to talk about it too much. Uh, it's not something I dig at all. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But this is what I will say: Jake Paul. He came out viciously before 2, 3 fights back of his, maybe even a few more, maybe 4 or 5 fights back, talking shit about Canelo, calling him a bitch, and that he'll beat him. And come on, man, get real, dude. Like, and De La Hoya said this that he can be a world champion. I believe he can too. But the thing is, you have to do it traditionally. You can't just go out. You have to do it the way everybody else does it. Okay, some guys like Teofimo Lopez and a couple other guys, Lomachenko did it really soon. What, 3 fights? I think 4 fights in, he became a world champion. I think Lomachenko he don't even have 24 fights yet, I don't think, and he's a multiple world champion. So I do believe that it's possible. Jake Paul can become a world champion. He's getting better and better with every fight. He's looking better and better with his feet movements. His putting together the combinations. He's looking good. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way you're gonna go in there and beat Canelo with only 7 fights under your belt. whatever he had at the time. I think now he's got one loss against Fury, and Tommy Fury didn't have even had that many fights, and he did drop Tommy Fury once, but Fury kind of schooled him a little bit. You don't think Canelo's going to do that? If not, and then probably knock him out as well. Um, it's just not at this point in his career. He can't be talking that shit, and it just doesn't make no sense that he's going to get shot action at those fights because as as Canelo's not one of them dudes who's just in it for the money. It's got to make sense for him and his resume and his legacy. You know what I'm saying? And look what's going on with David Benavidez. He's still not willing to give him a fight yet. Maybe Canelo. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, because people want to see him and Benavidez. Those are the two best at that division. I don't see David Benavidez wasting much more time on that though. If Canelo ain't going to give him a shot, I see him bouncing up to go to light heavyweight. But I could be wrong. You know what I mean? But Canelo, maybe Canelo's punishing Benavidez and not willing to give him the fight because, for one, some people will say, "Oh, he's scared. He knows he will get beat," or maybe is he punishing him because he feels that he don't deserve it yet because of the two times he's been stripped of the WBC title because of one not making weight and two testing dirty. So just imagine if Benavidez never tested dirty uh, and was able to make the weight the second time, he would be the WBC super middleweight champion, and Canelo would have no choice but to come to fight him. Does anybody think about that? I mean, I would like to see that fight, and obviously David Benavidez is the future of that division. Let me get off that script because this is about Tyson Paul, right? So, um, I I'm not sure if Paul's bulking up because I'm pretty sure Paul has been fighting at about one I want to say light heavyweight most of his fights. I believe maybe super middleweight. He's fighting somewhere between 170 and 180. I'm pretty sure, right? Um, I'm not even going to bring up the fact that Nate Diaz and Anderson Silva are over the hill and they're MMA fighters. That don't even matter at this point because he's continuing to do what boxers do. And what some people don't understand either too is when boxers get into the ring when they initially start their careers, a lot of times they get in the ring in their young career. I'm talking about. A lot of times they get in the ring with guys that are, 5-15 or 0-2 or 3-0. You know what I'm saying? It's usually the person they feel is equally matched to who the other opponent is. In their early career, or sometimes these guys there's some dudes out there that are great. They got a lot of skills, but the guys they fight beat them and they have a lot of losses, but it's a big stepping stone for these guys when they face that certain journeyman. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But people, it's so easy for people to always talk shit, criticize, blast people, um, instead of really even knowing what's going on, right? And we see that all the time with politics, with a whole bunch of stuff, right? They take what they hear on the news or just from somebody else and they run with that as gold. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of weak. People need to start looking into stuff for themselves. You don't want to take somebody's word for something when they're showing you the facts, then go look into it for yourself. You know what I mean? But I'm like I said, I'm on the fence a little bit. If Mike Tyson can't get him out of there, fairly early by no, not even fair. Excuse me, not even fairly early, but say by half. I'm not sure if it's a 10 round or 12 round fight. I'm pretty sure it's a 10 round fight. There's no belts involved. Anthony Joshua and Francis just fought. It was a 10 round fight. Um, and Josh was a two-time ex-champion, right? So I'm pretty sure it's a 10 round bout. It might even be an 8 round bout. I don't know because Paul don't have that many fights under his belt yet. Um, if it's a 10 round fight, if you don't get him out of there by the fifth or sixth round, um, and he's showing any type of fatigue and stuff, I can't see Jake Paul getting him out of there. I'm just being honest. I mean, Jake Paul does have a punch. I mean, the likes of the guys he's knocked out compared to a Mike Tyson is way, it's like night and day. But still, you got to keep in mind too, Mike Tyson is almost 60 years old. Um, Regardless of how he looks, being 57, 58 years old is not the same as being 38, let alone 28. You know what I'm saying? I think Jake Paul's only like 27, 28 years old. So I can see Mike getting it done. I can see him knocking him out just like he knocked out Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks and Frank Bruno and Bruce Seldon and Peter McNeely and shit. The list goes on and on and on, right? Orland Norris and uh, Bubba Mathis and you know what I'm saying, all them guys. But uh, you know, I don't know, man. I'm me because Tyson's the OG, and I relate to the OG side more. I gotta go with Tyson on this. Like I said, I think he's gonna knock him out. It's gonna be somewhere between round 2 to 4. I'm gonna say if it's an 8 round fight, between rounds 2 and 4. If it's a 10 round fight, I'd say he gets him out of there between 3 and 5. Um, but it won't surprise me if Jake Paul comes out with a win on decision and possibly a TKO. If Tyson gets in trouble and he's not able to protect himself and throw back, the ref will step in there fast, especially him being at the age he is. You'll see, that'll probably be one of the things that state uh, pushes hard on that ref and that sanctioning body, whoever puts that fight on. Um, so, um, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with Tyson, uh, and I'll catch the replay of what happens. But yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. I'm really gonna do my best to get back on this and start pushing content. I'm probably gonna drop another video or two tonight, so we'll make by tonight. Excuse me. So a total of 2 or 3 videos today on Friday, the 22nd of March. Uh, but I'm gonna do my best to get back on dropping content. I was so close to getting monetized, and then I took that big long break after Pops passed, and it tore my numbers up really pretty good. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and I'm gonna get back on track. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so can't stop, won't stop on mines, and it is what it is. With that being said, Big Lou tapping out.